Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Ranger Ops Mini. And this is a special one because, we talk about Power Rangers a lot. But what happens when they grow up? What happens when things get a little darker than normal? And that's what we're here to talk about today because we have a brand new comic project, Phantom Force. Phantom Force is a Power Rangers based comic book created and edited by Aaron Coney, written by Malik McRae and Coney, and illustrated by Ernesto Nexto Sambaria. This comic, man, you guys know I have fallen in love over the last decade with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic, and to have a new project in the same vein but not really makes it so much interesting, because this thing about Phantom Force is they are a Power Rangers as team, but one of them, obviously they end up scattering, and going about their lives after a tragic event on a mission a long time ago. The past comes back to haunt the present, and I love that aspect about it. And when reading it, I do have access to all 3 issues. They are absolutely amazing. In reading it, you definitely get a lot of different vibes and feels and homages to a lot of different things that have come out in the most recent 20 years. For example, like I said in the statement, having the past come back to haunt you and seeing the origin of the team and the main character, whereas we see his past while he's also living in the present. What does that sound like to you guys? Exactly. That was definitely inspired by what we saw from Arrow for the first 5 years at least, where we see Oliver Queen's journey as he returns home, and then we've put pieces together each season for 5 seasons straight of what happened to him on that island. And you get that here, and it works. I mean, obviously it's an amazing storytelling tactic where we get to see we get to see the main character of Dustin, even in the opening first panels, reliving out a horrible, tragic battle with his team, his original team, and things not really going that well. And as we see, he's in present day, things have changed. We don't know the status of what the team is, who's alive, who's dead, and we worked through that throughout the first 3 issues. And so being able to see that and draw the parallels, not taken from or all this stuff, it's parallels. It's inspired by what Arrow did, and they do it in a way here that allows you to both see Dustin's trauma and what he's dealing with now in his present life, as opposed to, and here's the thing about Dustin. He was a child soldier on the original Phantom Force team. He's a kid, and of course the big parallels, obviously Dustin is a huge draw from Justin from Power Rangers Turbo, and there's even a forward in here by Blake Foster, who has a heavy presence in this project. And it definitely is something that we don't think about, because Justin, super smart, the first kid to ever become a Power Ranger, and loved or hated him, what all that stuff. You don't think about what that really is. Yeah, Zordon recruited teenagers. Even then, you can still call them child soldiers. But to recruit a literal 12-year-old to fight Divatox and join the team, from a marketing standpoint, ooh, yeah, Beetleborgs is doing good, so let's put a kid on Power Rangers. Bro, that in itself is an entirely different video that we can talk about, but it leads to the whole theory of, these are child soldiers and they're fighting in this battle. Obviously they win every battle until the end, because the Turbo team does get defeated, but there's no talk about the trauma of what they did. Now, obviously there was no real stakes in Turbo at least. I mean, obviously Divatox wasn't that some mad war general bent on destruction and all that stuff. She just wanted to, rob the planet and all that stuff. So there weren't really any real stakes. Like, yeah, she planned a bomb every now and then, but they stopped the bomb, they stopped the monster, day is saved, bing bang boom. She only got her victory in the end because of a fluke. And I stand on that to this day. I don't care. She just happened to be in the vicinity, saw them getting transported back to the command center, and that was it. Obviously, she was winning because she had help with it from her brother and everything. But like, if she hadn't seen them going back to the command center, I feel like they could have regrouped and found a way to win. But yeah, the most traumatic experience I would say Justin had to deal with was losing the command center and losing their powers and watching his friends go to space. He's alive and living with his dad and only had the one adventure in space, and then maybe he fought in Countdown to Destruction with Stormblaster, and then that's it. There's no real trauma and stakes, and we get that in wrapping it around that in Phantom Force. We see the PTSD of what happened during this battle. I mean, look in the first panel. First of all, the tagline is, "Remember those colorful crime-fighting teenagers with attitude? Well, these ain't them." And with the literal, not TV, but comic book MA logo, the first panel is Bloodshot. We see the team on planet NST or Nest in the Gallian Galaxy. And right off the bat, you see a black, a red, a yellow, a pink Phantom Force Ranger. And you turn around and in the next panel, and the yellow Phantom Force Ranger's leg is gone. Like something happened and her leg is gone. And then we see a green Ranger running from a explosion, and then you see Dustin as a young blue Phantom Force Ranger. And dude, to hook somebody like that in the first panel, first page, she's like, and then you go right into Dustin's present day, and it's just it makes you think, yeah, we didn't see this type of stuff happen in Power Rangers. Like, the most as far as the early Saban era goes, the most traumatic thing that happened to a Ranger was, I would say, and let's say Zordon era, because there are a lot of stuff that happened afterwards, but Zordon era, the most traumatic ridden Ranger had to have been Andros. His best friend was in a coma and in the ship. We never really know what happened to the original team. It's highly theorized that they all died. If you go by the comics lore, then yeah, they definitely all died. But yeah, he had to watch his best friend die, his planet die, his sister get kidnapped. I mean, Andros went through it, but he still stood on top as the lone defender in space until he got the team. But that's like the most traumatic Ranger we see in the OG like Zordon era. So to go back and take the concept of a child soldier, a 12-year-old superhero, and flip it on his head and have him be part of this team, which how he joined the team, holy crap. It's at the end of the comic. I don't really want to spoil. I'm not going to spoil too much here. I'm just going to like go on different pieces of what we see. But you got to read it on your own, because how he joins the team and then what happens later, it's crazy how they pull that off. I mean, I don't see Zordon doing something like that, but then again, you never know, man. Especially like comic book Zordon, and hell, even comic book like Grace Sterling from Prometheus. Shh. I could see her pulling some crap like that, maybe. But yeah, no, seeing this character, this child, grow up and have the traumatic experiences of what he went through as a kid on this battlefield with these other people. Mind you, we learn later in the series, they all got brought together fairly recently. They weren't goody goody two shoes. I mean, most of them were, but they weren't like friends already. They hadn't hung out in Juice Bar. These were just random people picked, chosen to be part of this team, and become Phantoms. And they went through it. And so to see him carrying that trauma now, we learned that he is a former boxer. He lives and both helps out at a place called Morph Gym. I love that reference. It's really cool. And just like as soon as he wakes up from that first panel dream nightmare, the past is already calling him back. And I love that because one, there's no wasted time or there's no let's establish some stuff now. No. What Eren does is go right into, hey, you're thinking about the past. Well, guess what? The past is now coming back to haunt you. Here's some tidbits. We really need you to come back. And then bits and pieces fall in place to push Dustin back into fully coming back into the fold. And I really love how Eren wrote that, and how the guys really put that in, and not just, I'm not saying not just Eren, but also Malik, and the way they put this together was phenomenal. The first issue itself, solid work. Honestly, the first 3 issues, and we might do a full spoiler talk, like a full podcast, me, Joe, and I would love to bring Eren and Malik on. Hey, Eren, man, it was amazing meeting you at GalaxyCon last month. You said you were excited to see this. I hope you watch it, man. I really hope you like what I have to say about it. I would love to bring you on the podcast and let's talk about the full theming of this comic book so far. I absolutely loved issue 1 through 3. Cannot wait for the rest. And hey, AC, if you're listening, holla at me, big man. Let's hop on the podcast and talk about it. All right, I would love to have you, big bro. That being said, going back to the actual cover, all 3 covers, I believe, were done by Toku J, who is an amazing artist. Also done by Eren and Daniel Coney. The storyboard, of course, was done by Nextil and Malik. And there are a lot of special thanks to a lot of different people on here. Most of all, definitely with Blake Foster being the one. He actually did a forward by it and, explained, for almost 30 years, people asked him what it was like being a 12-year-old on Power Rangers and, living that dream that we all had. Look, we were kids, bro. Power Rangers was rocking. Yeah, we wanted to be Power Rangers. And to sit there and watch a 12-year-old, as a kid, like what? I was 7 years old at that point. So I was kind of jealous that Justin was a Power Ranger. He's a kid like me, kind of. But, of course, growing up, we all got jaded by it and all that stuff. It was just the whole thing. But he was the most competent Ranger on that team, to say the least. Well written, anyway. He was smart. He didn't, take no fuss. And it's really crazy what they do with this series and the callbacks and homages to his time as a young Ranger. And I really like that. Of course, going down the line, like I said, I'm not swollen too much. I just wanted to talk about the comparisons and everything. There's also a heavy manga inspiration to this, to the way this is written and drawn. A lot of the reactions and facial expressions, are manga and anime coded. I really love how they incorporate that, taking the inspirations we've gotten from everything in pop culture now and bringing it together to tell a different type of Power Rangers-esque story is something I absolutely love. Guys, if you have not checked out Phantom Force, do yourself a favor. Go get issue 1, 2, and 3 and follow along with the story as it comes out. There's so much more I want to talk about and say what happens in issue 2 and 3. If you would like for me to do a spoiler thing on my own, I'll do it if you guys like this enough to talk about it in the comments. But I would really love to have that conversation with me, Joe, and AC if he is down. And that will be the episode you want to tune in for. Have you read Phantom Force? If you have, please leave in the comments. Tell me what you guys think without spoiling too much. If you have not read Phantom Force, I highly suggest going to do that. So, like the comment, like the video. Please comment, tell me guys what you guys think about the video and about the topic. If you have read it, let me know. Go to Phantom Force on Instagram. It's popped up on the screen right now. Check them out. Hit the website. Get issue 1. Find issue 2. Buy issue 2 and 3, and stay tuned for issues 4 going forward. I am invested in this comic book. I am highly excited, and whenever the next issue drops, I am getting it, and I hope you guys like it too. If you are a Power Ranger fan, do yourself a favor, read this comic. It is certified awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I am Shadow King. Hope you had a great time watching this video. May the power protect you, and the force be with you, and as always, have the best day possible. Peace.